Despite the committee's decision to rename the subcommittee the National Security Subcommittee, the bill in front of us today actually makes us less safe, our troops less safe, our embassy staff across the world, and our allies less safe. In FDR's last inaugural, he who had fought the isolationist and understood what isolationism meant in 1939, he spoke and said, "We have learned what happens over there affects us over here." He also said that we have learned that to have a friend, you need to be a friend. I think the actions taken by the administration and reflected in this bill, including tariffs against our closest allies, means that we will have far fewer friends, and as a result, we will be less safe. The bill officially dismantles USAID. It defends international emergency and refugee assistance. It reduces investments in PEPFAR, reduces maternal and child health funding with cuts to family planning, withdraws support for women's global health programs through the United Nations and other agencies. These cuts include $362 million used to help women and children fight infectious diseases. The front lines on the next pandemic aren't at New York or in California, they're across the sea. The bill goes even further to ban supporting the WHO and UNFPA organizations whose fundings are critical to keeping women and girls safe. It also cuts funding for the environment and conservation efforts, including wildlife trafficking. It also blocks funding to the Clean Technology Fund and the Green Climate Fund. It prevents the U.S. from enforcing and enacting any provisions of the Paris Agreement. It's a major setback to our handling of the global climate crisis. It's hard to believe that the issue of climate change is hardly in the news today because there are so many other issues the agents of chaos have brought forth. As the climate disasters worsen, it would only become more clear on how closely these issues are all connected. Earlier this summer, a peer-reviewed study in The Lancet estimated that USAID programs have saved over 90 million lives since the year 2000. They also estimate that the president's cuts to USAID will lead to over 14 million deaths by 2030, including 4.5 million children under the age of 5. The cuts to this bill will decimate life-saving programs and lead to countless preventable deaths. Across the world, our adversaries, namely Russia and China, are stepping up where we are pulling out. For many countries and regions, our international aid programs are the primary way they interact with the U.S. When we cut these ties, we lose relationships and, in some cases, push our allies toward our adversaries. I oppose this bill from a humanitarian perspective and from a national security perspective. As is so often the case, the right thing to do, the moral thing to do, is also the smart thing to do. But frankly, under the current administration, this bill doesn't matter. The Trump administration has decided that they can follow or ignore our appropriation bills at their discretion. And the rescissions bill hurtling through the Senate would upend so many of these programs that we funded in a bipartisan vote just months ago. Until my friends and colleagues on the other side of the aisle decide to stand up to the administration and reclaim the power of the purse, which was designated to us in Article 1 of the Constitution, this is all, frankly, a rhetorical exercise. Thank you, and I yield back.